And away we go. Hot off the press, the extra time questions submitted by you onto this pink piece of paper, which I have in my hand. I have Ale Moreno to the left. I have Frank Leboeuf to the right. Lots of stuff to get into today, guys. Has the Premier League reinstated itself as the top league in the world? English teams in the Champions League have outscored their opponents 28-2, no less. All undefeated, all sit on top of their groups. Ali?
Well, every year, the Premier League and the Premier League fans remind us of how great they are,
Yes.
how great their teams are, and how most wonderful the experience is for players and for fans in the Premier League, and how they are the most important league in the world, and so on and so forth. And every year, I tell you the same thing. I don't care. I don't care whether the Premier League teams are doing well or not in Europe, and how does that measure in terms of the quality of your league from top to bottom and all that nonsense. All I see is that their level of play right now in the Premier League on a weekly basis, week in and week out, is not very good at all. Not very good at all. Now, what they go and do in Europe, well, that may be impressive, and maybe that's a reflection of what's going on in terms of COVID and the pandemic and so on and so forth. But the level of performance of teams on a weekly basis in the Premier League is down as compared to what it has been in the past.
That's fighting talk, Ali. Fighting talk. Frank?
Nothing much to add. I completely agree with Ali. It doesn't mean anything. We don't really care. And what we see, what we have seen lately is not showing us that it's the best league in the world. And it doesn't really matter anyway, you know. We're not pleased with La Liga, we're not pleased with the Ligue 1, with the Bundesliga, or with the Calcio. I mean, I don't know what to answer to that. How can you be the best league in the world when you don't have Bayern Munich, when you don't have Real Madrid, you don't have Paris Saint-Germain? And it doesn't make any sense. It's like the Ballon d'Or. It doesn't make any sense. So we have to stop asking people those kind of questions.
but the Ballon d'Or will never stop, except last year, of course. Meanwhile, in the Premier, someone who's doing well in the Premier League and the Champions League, Diogo Jota, should he be starting every single game now until the end of the season if he's fit? Ali?
Not quite yet, no. I think you're going to ride Roberto Firmino as long as you possibly can because of the success that you have had with him and that front three of Salah, Firmino, and Mane. Jota has given you, I think, much more than you would have expected so far. But really, he doesn't play down the middle as much as Firmino does. He's more of a guy that comes from the outside in. And so you would have to rotate and move people over to different parts of that front line. And I just don't think that's happening. Firmino continues to be the first option. And although Jota's numbers are probably better than Firmino's, and people are going to hang on to that and say, well, he should be playing, I think there's an importance to the job of Roberto Firmino that I think Jurgen Klopp really values.
His numbers are better, Frank. What would you do?
Well, if you ask to any Liverpool fans, you know, they will be very, very pleased with what Jota has brought to the club and to the forward line. But you know, the three at front, Mane, Salah, and Firmino, have so much credits from what they've shown to the world and what they got with Liverpool, that it's going to be very hard to change the hierarchy very soon and even in the future. So Jota will have to accept the fact that he's the fourth guy, is important because it's hard to play only with three players at front if you play at three at front, and he's going to be part of the success if he's ready to be patient and accept the deal.
All right, for both of you, what happened to Shakhtar today? You don't actually have to answer that, just in case you didn't watch it that closely. They lost 6-0 at home to Monchengladbach. But for both of you, was there ever a game that you went into as players with big expectations, but ended up getting blown away by the opposition, rather like happened to Shakhtar today?
Go ahead, Frank.
It's football is crazy, and you can expect everything. You can plan whatever you want. You know, you don't know what you're gonna have. You know, it's full of surprises. Is the chocolate, what do you say, chocolate tablets at the
box of chocolate.
The box of chocolate, that we talk in the movie. So it's full of surprises that you never know what you're gonna get. And I remember feeling, we could beat Manchester United at home and losing 5-0, after an hour and not touching the ball. And every time they had a chance to score, they did. That's football, and it can go for you or it can go against you. It's what happened to Shakhtar. I mean, they conceded a fantastic first goal. Then it was a deflection of the second goal. Then a top corner shot from a player in the third goal, and all over. Your head spins and you don't know what to do, and it's becoming a nightmare.
Ali, intrigued what you're going to come up with for this?
Well, first of all, there have been a lot of times in which I expected us not to do well, and that proved to be correct.
And you lived up to billing. Yes.
So I was right about that. In terms of expecting to do well and being surprised as to what the outcome of the game was, I can remember in our preparation for 2011 Copa America, we had been in camp for about 3 weeks already. And one of our last preparation matches was against Spain. And this was Spain with all their toys, all the top players. And we were feeling really good about ourselves. We were playing in hot weather. We thought, what, we could, fitness-wise, we're in a better place than they are. We're just going to make them run. We're going to pressure them. The heat is going to get to them. The stadium is with us. This is, okay, it's a dream come true. We're about to take down Spain. Yeah. And then the game started, and we never saw the ball. And Spain just moved the ball from left to right and back and front. And Iniesta, he didn't look like he had broken a sweat, and he was just moving the ball around. And then I just thought, all those plans about us pressuring, forget that. Let's sit back, people. We can't play against this team. Yeah, it was 3-0, and it was every bit of 3-0. To be quite honest with you, it was a lesson in how to play the game.
I got to say, you were far from alone in being handed a footballing lesson by that Spanish team. Does Antonio Conte face the door again, Frank, if he fails to lead Inter to the round of 16 once again in the Champions League? Put on a good show, didn't they, at times today against Real Madrid, but wrong end of the result.
I think, after the game tonight, they can have regrets and because they did well, and after they went back from 2-0, they went back to 2-2. They had chances to win the game, and don't forget that they didn't have Lukaku today to help Lautaro Martinez at front. No, I don't think he's in trouble because of the COVID, because of the money it's going to cost to Inter if they have to sack him. I think he's not in danger. He has a long contract, meaning lots of money if he's sacked. So I will be here. I will be Conte. I will be pretty confident that I'm going to have my job until the end of the season.
Yeah. You confident, Ali?
Well, I think if Inter play the way that they played today against Real Madrid, certainly after going down to nothing, they will not have any concerns in coming out of this group. The problem is actually playing as well as they did today and doing that consistently, and the fact that Lukaku will come back from injury at some point, and that will make them better. I think they're going to be fine, and Antonio Conte is going to be fine. Sometimes I just don't know that I can trust this team, and that's the part that in the end I think is going to be what Antonio Conte is going to regret the most.
All right, Harry wants to lead us down the path of talking about English referees and their VAR counterparts. He says, why can't refs have interviews after the game to explain why they did or did not call a penalty? It would hold them more accountable. Would it? Would it make any difference, Frank, if you actually heard from the refs after the game?
I guess it would be worse for them.
Yeah, well, it might be.
To explain which is unexplainable. I don't know. I think in France they're not allowed to talk to the press. To explain why they did that choice instead of another choice. So I think they're not allowed to, and it's only the president of all the referees who can make some comments. But don't worry, English fans. You don't have a problem, and only in England with VAR. it's a worldwide problem. You can watch La Liga, you can watch the Ligue 1, the Ligue 1, sorry. You will find, problems with referees not understanding what's going on the field because they've never been football players, so they don't understand the game.
It's the last bastion, isn't it, Ali? It just can't happen, seemingly, in our sport, hearing from referees.
Well, I think what would be best, instead of talking to the referee post-game, it would be most ideal if we could do what MLS did for a little while, an MLS is Back tournament, and that is allowing the conversation that the referee is having with the VAR official, allowing us at home to have a listen, to hear what they're saying. Because in that communication, we can figure out why they're making a call and why not they're making a call. And therefore, we don't need to talk to them after the game. We've already gotten that information live while the game is going on.
All right. While we're on the subject of the Premier League, the big game this weekend, Manchester City and Liverpool. The question posed here specifically is about Manchester City's defence. Can it stop Liverpool's attack? Frank, do you think it can?
Yeah, he's getting better with the new signing and the way they play. They can manage to stop Liverpool, but it's not only the defense. I mean, we have to stop with that, and separating lines because you're a defender, you concede a goal, it's automatically your fault. It's like scoring a goal. I mean, if the goalkeeper doesn't start well the action, the striker won't finish it. So it's the whole system, the whole animation of the game who makes you making faults and mistakes, who allows the opponent to score goals. And that's the main problem for Manchester City. I've seen players not very involved in the work that they have to do to defend properly in order for the team to not concede goals. So if they work all together and with the player they have, they can manage to do well, and I'm sure they will because they have to if they want to go back to catch up with Liverpool.
Guess this question, Ali, could easily have been asked the other way around as well. Can Liverpool's defence stop City's attack?
This version of Liverpool's back line, I don't think so. Although it's not like Manchester City's been flying offensively either. Better today against Olympiacos, but I don't see an explosive, dynamic version of Manchester City in the attack just yet. And I think that's going to give Liverpool a little bit of time defensively to kind of sort out what they want to do. But I don't think it's a secret for anybody that the strength of both teams is on the attacking half rather than on the defensive half.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.